With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Having heard these words, which announced the slaughter of many animals, the great sage, full of compassion and kindness to living beings, meditated thus: If for my sake many living beings are killed, I shall not obtain happiness in the next world. Please continue watching to find out more wisdom of Jainism.
How sad is it that the world people are so indulgent with pleasure in eating stinky fish and meat? Wang Wei, vegan.
While visiting spiritual India, you may hear Swagat. That's how kind-hearted local people say welcome in Hindi. I'm Raghav. The amazing Indian people are grateful for such big-hearted friends as you, and we send you our warmest regards. May Lord Mahavira bless you. Welcome to From the Sacred Jainism Scripture, Uttaradhyayana, Part 2 of 2, Lecture 22, Rathanemi. The religion of Jainism, traditionally called Jain Dharma, originated in ancient India. Jain Dharma emphasizes the value of right perception, right knowledge, and right conduct. Through inner reflection and sincere practice of these principles, one can attain moksha, or realization of the soul's true nature. The concept of ahimsa or non-violence is also central to Jainism. Thus, with respect for all life, Jain practitioners follow a pure vegan or plant-based diet. The Jain lineage includes 24 Tirthankaras or beings who share their enlightenment with others. The Tirthankaras' teachings comprise the Agam Sutras, which are the holy scriptures of Jainism. The 24th and last Tirthankara was Lord Mahavira, whose name means great hero. Born into a royal family in 599 BC, Prince Mahavira decided as a young man to pursue a solitary spiritual life. After 12 years of intensive meditation, he attained Kevala or the highest wisdom. Lord Mahavira was known to face all obstacles with acceptance and forgiveness. He also shared discourses on spiritual truths, which formed the basis of present-day Jainism. Supreme Master Qinghai has paid tribute on several occasions to the spiritual strength and devotion of Lord Mahavira during lectures given in Taiwan, also known as Formosa.
I don't know if anyone in the history of mankind could have done or could be doing or will be doing such an asceticism, such a sacrifice like the Lord Mahavira. We really salute him and are grateful to all that he had to endure for enlightenment, for the sake of others, yes. All these sufferings are not for naught. They would benefit the world in some way or another, even without the Lord Mahavira knowing, or even without the world people knowing or being grateful for.
We now invite you to listen to excerpts from the 22nd lecture of Uttaradhyayana, one of the most important scriptures in Jainism. This lecture, called Rathanemi, describes how the compassionate Lord Rathanemi renounces the world after witnessing the slaughter of animal people in preparation for his wedding. In this same discourse, the story is also told of how Rathanemi, the brother of Rathanemi, is brought back to the right path. 22nd lecture, Rathanemi. In the town of Suryapura, there was a powerful king, Vasudeva by name, who possessed the characteristic marks of a king. He had 2 wives, Rohini and Devaki. Each of them had a beloved son, Rama and Kesava. In the town of Suryapura, there was another powerful king, Samudravigaya by name, who possessed the characteristic marks of a king. His wife was Siva by name, and her famous son was the venerable Rathanemi, the savior of the world and the lord of ascetics. This Rathanemi, who was gifted with an excellent voice and possessed the 1008 lucky marks of the body, was a Gautama, and his skin was black. His body was strong like that of a bull and hard like steel. He was well proportioned and had a belly like that of a fish. Kesava asked the girl Razimati in marriage for him. Now this daughter of an excellent king was virtuous and well-looking. She possessed all lucky marks of the body and shone forth like the lightning Saudamani. Her father said to the powerful Vasudeva, "Let the prince come here, that I may give him my daughter." He had taken a bath containing all lucky herbs and had performed the customary ceremonies. He wore a suit of heavenly clothes and was decked out with ornaments. Riding on the best masked elephant of Vasudeva, he looked beautiful like a jewel worn on the head. He sat under a raised umbrella fanned by 2 chowries, and he was surrounded on all sides by a host of Dasarhas and by a complete army drawn up in rank and file, while the heavenly sound of musical instruments reached the sky. With such pomp and splendor, the hero of the Vrishnis started from his own palace. On his way, he saw animals kept in cages and enclosures, overcome by fear and looking miserable. Seeing them on the point of being killed for the sake of their flesh and to be eaten afterwards, the great sage spoke to his charioteer thus, "Why are all these animals, which desire to be happy, kept in cages and enclosures?" Then the charioteer answered, "Lucky are these animals, because at thy wedding they will furnish food for many people." Having heard these words, which announced the slaughter of many animals, the great sage, full of compassion and kindness to living beings, meditated thus, "If for my sake many living beings are killed, I shall not obtain happiness in the next world." Then the famous man presented the charioteer with his pair of earrings, his neck chain, and all his ornaments. When he had formed his resolution, the gods descended from heaven, according to the established custom, to celebrate with great pomp, together with the retinue, the event of his renunciation. Surrounded by gods and men, and sitting on an excellent palanquin, the Venerable One left Dwarka and ascended Mount Raivataka. On arriving at the park, he descended from his excellent palanquin, surrounded by a crowd of thousands, and then his renunciation took place while the moon was in conjunction with Chitra. Then he himself plucked out his delightfully perfumed, soft and curled hair in 5 handfuls. And Vasudeva said to that subduer of the senses who had plucked out his hair, "O Lord of ascetics, may you soon obtain what you wish and desire." Increase in knowledge, faith and right conduct, in forbearance and perfection. In this manner, Rama and Kesava, the Dasarhas, and many people paid homage to Rathanemi and then returned to the town of Dwarka. When the daughter of the king heard of the ordination of the Jina, laughter and gaiety forsook her, and she was overwhelmed with affliction. Ragimati thought, "Shame upon my life that I have been forsaken by him. It is better I should turn nun." Firm and decided, she cut off her tresses, which were black like bees, and dressed with a brush and comb. And Vasudeva said to her who had cut off her hair and subdued her senses, Lady, cross the dreadful ocean of the samsara without difficulty. When she had entered the order, the virtuous and very learned lady induced their many people, her relations and servants, to enter the order too. On her way to Mount Raivataka, it began to rain. Her clothes being wet, she entered a cave and waited there in the darkness while it was raining. She took off her clothes and was naked as she was born. Thus she was seen by Rathanemi, whose peace of mind became thereby disturbed, and afterwards she saw him. She was frightened when she discovered herself alone with the monk. Folding her arms over her breast, she sank down trembling. When the prince, Samudravigaya's son, saw her frightened and trembling, he spoke the following words, I am Rathanemi. O dear, beautiful, sweetly speaking lady, do accept me for your lover, O slender one. You shall have no cause to complain. Come, let us enjoy pleasures, for it is a rare chance to be born a human being. After we have enjoyed pleasures, we shall enter on the path of the Guinness. When Ragimati perceived that Rathanemi's strength of will was broken and temptation had got the better of him, she did not lose her presence of mind and defended herself on that occasion. The daughter of the best king, true to self-control and her vows, maintained the honor of her clan and family and her virtue and spoke to him. If you owned the beauty of Vaisaramana, the pleasing manners of Nalakubara, if you were like Purandara himself, I should have no desire for you. Fie upon you, famous knight who want to quaff the vomited drink for the sake of this life, it would be better for you to die. I am the daughter of a Bhoga king, and you are an Anda Kavrishni. Being born in a noble family, let us not become like Gandana snakes. Firmly practice self-control. If you fall in love with every woman you see, you will be without hold, like the hatha plant driven before the wind. As a herdsman or a keeper of goods does not own the things he has the care of, so you will not truly own Shramanahood. Having heard these well-spoken words of the virtuous lady, he returned to the law, spiritual precepts. Protected in thoughts, words, and acts, subduing his senses and keeping the vows, he practiced true Shramanahood throughout life. After practicing severe austerities, both of them became Kevalins, liberated souls, and having completely annihilated their karma, they reached the highest perfection. Thus, act the enlightened, the wise, the clever ones, they turned from pleasures as did this best of men. Thus I say,
Go ahead and make war, so that just mentioning your name people will feel induced to vomit.
Generous viewers, thank you for joining us for today's Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is The Watermelon, a Wonderful Fruit, Part 1 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May you always know God's mercy to be inspired toward ever greater compassion for all beings.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
저희 방송은 다양한 언어를 제공합니다. 다음을 참고하세요. suprememastertv.com/schedule 그리고 suprememastertv.com/WOW